Okay. So I'm live again. Just before I start talking to anybody, I'm just trying to figure out a couple of things here. It's not showing anything just yet. Okay, let me get out of the analytics. If anyone's there, I honestly have no freaking clue. But if anyone's there, how you doing? I'm just trying to figure out a couple of things right now. Just quickly. So this is gonna take a while. But again, if anyone's there, as I said, honestly can't tell. I'm trying to pull up the video on my computer because I'm live streaming on my phone right now, and so because of that, I'm using the rear camera as I did the last time, and so because of that, I can't really see the screen, and so I have like no clue whether anyone's here or if what's going on. So yeah, that's essentially what it is. So if currently there's nobody watching right now, so that's cool. Uh, if anything, I really wanted to just see. Oh, three people are watching now. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, I was really just wanting to check to see what I looked like on the stream right now, and everything's good. I'm somewhat in the center. Yeah, so it's all good. So again, hi. Uh, I am so freaking awkward. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hope you guys had a good day today. I don't know. My day was kind of interesting, if I gotta be honest with you. Let me see. I could probably move that just a little closer. Let's see. Let's see what that looked like. What kind of didn't really do much, but you know what? That's fine. But yeah. So yeah, my day was kind of interesting. I mean, I drove for Uber for a bit, but then I kind of started thinking about things, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. You feel me? So it was. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not even quite sure why I'm talking about this, but yeah, it was. I was kind of just like, I don't think I want to drive Uber anymore today. So I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was because the whole Shane Dawson and Jake Paul series thing was coming out, and that was probably why I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna, because when I was driving, he posted it like 45 minutes before, and I was like, you know what? No, I gotta cut everything and I gotta watch this. And since I'm talking about it right now, I might as well kind of I guess we could start talking about that. Why not? Plum Show host says hi. Hey man, how you doing? You tend to be on every single one of my streams, and so I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. But yeah. Just question: has anybody seen the recent Shane Dawson documentary series about Jake Paul? Have any of you guys even seen it? Because if you guys haven't seen it, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. And just in case you guys haven't seen it and you guys want to see it or whatever, maybe I shouldn't talk about it all that much. Don't want to spoil things for you. Let me open up the window over there. It's a little hot in here. Hopefully there's nobody making a crap ton of noises outside like the last time. The last time someone just kept revving their car engine or something. I don't know. That was a little annoying. But yeah, at least I'm getting some air coming in here because it is a little hot. It's yeah. So, um, excuse me. Jordan H says, "Yo, hey man, how you doing?" Plum Show host says, "I'm in a bit of time crunch as far as my editing goes." Ah, okay. So I guess you're editing a video for your YouTube channel. That's cool. I wish I had that luxury, honestly, to continue editing my own videos. Which again, yeah, I said this the last time. I really like Alex editing my videos, and he would, if I were to get a new video editing software or whatever, he would still edit like a majority of my videos anyway. It would just be like the vlog would probably be, which would be on the other channel. I don't think I'm gonna ever do vlogs on this channel again. I don't know. Um, But yeah, you know, the vlogs would probably be something I would edit because at the very least I could have full control on what, or I already would have a vision on what I would want to do for the vlog, and I could, you know, work on that and blah blah blah. You know, so I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know, one thing now, I don't know how many of you guys that are watching watched my stream on Tuesday. Tuesday. Yeah. I streamed on Tuesday because yesterday I was at work. So I don't know how many of you guys watched my stream on Tuesday, but near the end of the stream, not like particularly at the end, but mainly near the what? Like I say middle to end or something, I was starting to talk about what was I talking about? Yeah, I was starting to talk generally about um you know how I wanted to do like reviews of these crappy rip-off animated movies. Um and I honestly haven't looked at any of them yet. Well, one of them that we were talking about, someone mentioned, was a animated short, I guess, called An Ant Life or An Ant's Life or something. And I wanted to watch it, never got the chance to actually watch it. And so, not saying I'm not saying I'm going to react to it here because again, if I want to do a reaction, I want the video to be up there. So if I were to have to do a reaction video, it would probably just be you know, an actual video. It wouldn't be a stream. It would probably be a video or something like that. That would probably be a little easier for me and Alex to do because I could just watch the video. He ended up watching the video on his behalf, of course. I know you wouldn't want to go through that, but you know, you could just. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's possible. I mean, especially considering the fact that an ant's life is only about 25 minutes. I can handle 25 minutes. If it was 2 hours, I don't think I'd be able to watch the whole thing. I probably still won't be able to watch the whole thing at 25 minutes. I don't know, dude. That's I don't know, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, and another thing is, I probably shouldn't spoil that. Actually, you know what? I won't. I was gonna tell you about. Oh, I was gonna record blah blah blah, but I'm not gonna spoil it. It has something to do with an ant's life, but I'm just not going to spoil that for you. I guess. I mean, it's nothing secretive or like cool. I guess so. It's not really a big deal, but it's whatever. I don't know. If that is, if I even film it, I gotta at the very least I gotta try to film this before my mom even gets home. Like my mom is currently, which is why I am doing 2 streams this week because mom is out of town right now and she actually comes back tomorrow. And you know, I tend to do a stream whether she's upstairs or whether she's out of the house or whatever. I tend to do a lot of things when it comes to YouTube when my mom's not home. Because again, I just can't really shoot a video while my mom's home because I don't want her to hear me and I don't want her to think, what are you doing downstairs or whatever. I don't know. It's a conscious thing. What else was I going to mention? Oh yeah, I was going to read. Duh. Anyway, let's see. Plump Show host also says, I've got to do 1 episode of my Plump Show and first review Hell's Kitchen Rookies versus Veterans. Christ, right? I don't know. I'm stupid today. and I've got from today to Sunday to get it done. Wow. So you're doing 2 videos. So I'm curious. What is Plump Show? What is the Plump Show exactly? Like, is that you reviewing stuff, or is it you just talking about topics, or what is that essentially? I've never checked out your channel yet. I tend not to check out a lot of my commenters' channels. You know, I check out some of them if they, you know, I guess if they somewhat interest me. I guess I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I'm curious to know what it is. So if you can tell us what it is in the chat, I would like to know. Chris Fee says, yo, how you doing? How you guys? This is kind of sporadic because I did say that I was gonna do the stream today. And in fact, actually, I was going to do the stream earlier than now, but I actually got caught watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on Teen Nick, and I honestly kind of lost track of time. And I was like, oh, I was supposed to start at 4:15. I was gonna start at the same time that I did on Tuesday, and then it was like, yeah, you know what? It's not really gonna be a big deal. Just start at 5:05 or whatever, and it's not gonna lose much. Okay, so you gave us an answer. So Plump Show host says, Plump Show is my creation of a comedy show that I've been doing for almost 9 years now. Okay. All right, I'm going to check that out one day. Well, one day should be today. I'll probably check that out today. Hopefully, yeah, my phone's on silent right now, so you shouldn't get any weird vibrations from the phone because, someone might be texting me or whatever. I don't know. So I can't particularly say that I have, and that's the one thing that kind of, I kind of want to start doing at some point when it comes to these live streams. First of all, I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these live streams. I don't know how many I'm going to do, and I don't know how often it's going to happen. I might want to try to do them more often, even though I've said that before, and then I end up leaving for another 5 months. I'm not good when it comes to trying to keep promises with this channel. And I really, 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 really have to try to fix that, I guess. Again, I'm not generally doing anything for a majority of the week or any time of my life. I don't really do a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of people I can hang up, call on and be like, hey, you want to go somewhere? Okay, that's cool. I don't have a lot of that. And even so, when I have somebody to say, hey, you want to hang out, I don't do it. It's a shy thing. I hate being shy, dude. It sucks. But yeah, so case in point, I don't really do a lot of stuff. And so, yeah, as I said, I got plenty of time to make videos, but unfortunately, I kind of just don't really do that. So it's I don't know, it's whatever. But at some point, if it does happen to seem like these live streams become more frequent, I guess, say like I happen to do a live stream maybe every week or maybe once a month or every 2 weeks or something like that. There's going to be a point where I do want to actually have a topic to talk about, and I'll have the live stream be about said topic. Instead of me just live streaming for the sake of live streaming, I guess. And I probably would post a video about it, advertising the live stream and when it happens or whatever. I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about, because again, I don't want to continue just posting up a live stream and talking about random crap. I want to actually have a topic to talk about, and then do a live stream on it. If it's something where I kind of wanted to do a video, but then at the same time I don't get to doing a video, but I still want to talk about said topic, then maybe I'll do a live stream about it. I don't know. It's something that I'll figure out. Again, making no promises. I can't promise anything. I wouldn't want to make any promises because, again, I'm not good at keeping promises on this channel. Which, again, is something I do want to fix. But, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I do want to go back to making videos again. I don't know when that's going to fully happen, and I don't know how or what it's going to do. Again, I did say that I wanted to do some different kind of shows on this channel. I didn't want to just do reviews or rants or whatever. I wanted to do some other type of videos, and so I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I'm probably going to end up sticking to doing reviews and rants and whatnot because that's technically what you guys want. But I don't know. It really depends. It really does depend in particular. Okay. So Plum Show host says I was going to call it the Slap Show, but it sounded like I was ripping off Victoria's so I searched for an unknown name and Plump was it. Okay, I guess that's smart. It's not really easy to come up with a name. First of all, if I were to have just created this YouTube channel, I wouldn't have renamed it regular Josh 1 if you want me to be honest with you. The regular Josh 1 would probably not would have been the username or the title of this channel. I don't know what it would have been, to be honest. Like, I don't know. And you're probably wondering why I named the channel regular Josh 1. To be honest, I went. Let's see. I created this channel. I think it started in 2011, and not in terms of making videos, just making the channel, just making my own account on YouTube. So I could comment, like, and subscribe, and yada yada yada. Didn't really make any content until 2013, 2014. No, probably 2013. I think that's when I started first making content. 2013 or 2012. For most of my high school years, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, when I was in middle school, was it middle school? It was either yeah. It had to have been middle school. I think it started around middle school. Not Adventure Time, but Regular Show came out, and I was a pretty big fan of Regular Show. And I wanted to come up with a name, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I started thinking about Regular Show, and I thought the word regular, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then I put my name, and I think it was just going to be Regular Josh, I think, for some weird reason. And then, it was like, oh, nope, Regular Josh is already taken. I'm like, okay, crap, what can I do? And then I think they suggested, just adding a 1 at the end, and then it was like, okay, you know what, I'll take it. I don't know. I don't really remember, but all I know is that I think I was thinking about Regular Josh 1. I think I was thinking about Regular Show at the time. And, that's probably, I think that's kind of the best explanation I can give to you guys. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of the same with one of my dogs there on the couch. I named the dog Jerry. One dog's named Shadow, and the other dog, which is a girl's named Jerry. And the reason why I named her Jerry is because at the time I was a big Tom and Jerry fan, and I just said, you know what? That's all I can think of. I'm going to call her Jerry. I wish I called her Bandit because, she's, she doesn't really steal a lot, but she can steal certain things. Like, she'll steal a treat from my dog, or she'll happen to steal something from the table, like a candy bar, not chocolate, but, something that's edible, and she'll try to hide it as if, we don't know what she's doing. So sometimes she can be pretty mischievous, so if I knew a lot more about that before than I did now, I would have called her Bandit, but I called her Jerry because Tom and Jerry was on the brain at the time. It was the same with my brother. My brother, well, god brother, he's not actually my blood brother, but he's my god brother from foster family. He named his dog Cheetah, and the only reason why he did it was because he's a big fan of cheetah girls, and because of that, yeah, I know that sounds weird. My god brother is a fan of cheetah girls. I get it. But yeah, that's the reason why he named his dog Cheetah, because he was a big fan of cheetah girls. And so that, I don't know. When you're young, you can't really come up with a lot of names or titles, so you kind of just refer to, say, your favorite cartoon or your favorite movie or your favorite characters or whatever, and you kind of just name a title based off of that. That's what I found. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes, or how it went there. But yeah, so I guess that's a good explanation as any as to why my name's Regular Josh 1. Again, I don't know what else I would have named it. I mean, I could have named my vlog channel the Regular Vlogs or something. I could have done that, but I didn't. I named it the Bun Bun Vlogs. Can I say I kind of regret that? Maybe, but whatever. I mean, my brand, I guess you could say, in terms of, not in terms of this channel, but just in terms of who I am in particular. A lot of people who know me refer to me as a bunny. I'm not kidding with you. That's happened ever since I was in middle school. In middle school, a lot of people who knew me. Not everybody, obviously. Mainly family members and probably very close friends would kind of just refer to me as a rabbit or a bunny or something. They wouldn't say, "Oh, it's the bunny," it's the whatever. They would kind of just say, "You're such." I don't know. I don't know how they would just know that they would somewhat call me a bunny or a rabbit or something, because that was like my most favorite. It's still technically my most favorite animal right now. Before, when I was a kid, my most favorite animal was lamb or sheep. Those are the same things, but still, bunnies kind of excelled that later on, and so yeah. So now, and I remember, like, there was a time when I was staying over at my god family's house when they still lived here, and sometimes they would. I think somebody at school gave me like a bag of vegetables. They didn't want it. I guess it was like some cucumbers. No, it wasn't any cucumbers in there. It was like celery and carrots, I guess, and probably some broccoli. And I was always someone that liked eating vegetables. Like, when I was a kid, I always liked eating vegetables. I wasn't like, ew, broccoli, ew, whatever. Like I always liked eating salads and all that stuff. I'm no vegetarian, can't go vegan, can't do any of that stuff. Meat's too good. Steak, chicken, bacon, it's too good. But yeah, like I would always kind of eat a lot of vegetables, and sometimes they would just call me a rabbit because of that. Not the kids, but the family, and it was kind of teasing in a way, but not really. But I guess at the time, I kind of liked being referred to as a bunny, I guess. I don't know. When you're a kid, you're weird. Like, let's just get that out of the way. When you're a kid, you are weird. There's certain things that you like back then, whereas if it were to be now you like it, it would be weird. But hey, it's just whatever. But yeah, so, and that kind of still happens today. Like, my mom sometimes when she's texting, not all the time, but probably like 1% of the time we're talking, she'll just refer to me as her bunny or something like that. It's interesting. Probably shouldn't even be saying that because I'm sure it's cringeworthy as hell. But yeah, that's kind of just my brand, I guess. My friends do it. Parents do it. My siblings, God siblings do it. It's whatever, I guess. So, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it, obviously. So, it's, yeah. So, I guess I don't know. It's interesting, I guess you can say. Anyway, let me go back to Moha. I keep forgetting how to say your name. I'm sorry, Moha Huss. How you doing? Glad you're back. He says, "What reality TV shows do you keep up with?" Not much, if I'm honest. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV shows. I do watch America's Got Talent, so I kind of come up with that one, if that is considered a reality TV series. I'm sure it does. Other than that, that's it. My mom tends to... Well, I watch a couple. I do watch cooking shows as well on Food Network, because I'm also into cooking. If that's also considered reality TV, I think it is. Another thing that I tend to watch, well, I don't watch it all the time, but sometimes I'll end up watching, one is called, Dr. Pimple Popper. She's a YouTuber, a famous YouTuber, apparently, and I'm subscribed to her. She's got, like, I don't know how many millions of subscribers she has on YouTube, but she has her own television series on TLC, and I happen to watch that sometimes. I don't watch it all the time though. And for some reason, I'm not into it, but for some reason, I can't even say I like watching those videos, but I'll end up sometimes just watching videos of people popping their pimples or popping a cyst, I guess that's how they call it, what they call it, or whatever. I don't know why, but for some reason I watch those kinds of videos. It's weird, and obviously there's a lot of them that are gross, but I still end up watching them, if that makes sense. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Another show that I kind of watch sometimes with mom is we end up watching My 600 Pound Life. And if you don't know what that is, which you should know what that is, it's a show where it's these people that are morbidly obese. They are huge. They could be as big as a bed or bigger than a table or whatever. They are huge people. They tend not to be able to walk, or they may not be able to walk far. Um, and they always have like a sad story. They were raped or molested, or not always sexually assaulted or anything. Or generally, sometimes it would be that they had a loss in their life, or something is missing within themselves, and they're always trying to fill in that void. And one of the ways that they do it, to make them feel better, or again to fill in the void inside, is to eat a lot. And so because of that, they continue eating and eating, and then they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And seeing some of the eating habits of some of these people is just insane. And shows like that is exactly what makes me look at myself and be like, you know what? I'm not even that bad. Or not just that, but I look at that and I'm like, I don't want to be like that person. You feel me? Like, I definitely, because even though I'm obviously not the skinniest person, I'm like pretty big myself. But I'm still having I still have the abilities to do a lot of stuff. I'm still able to, it's kind of funny. It's messed up, but it's kind of funny. I'm still able to fit into certain tight spaces. I'm still able to fit into an airplane seat. I don't have to buy two of them. I'm still able to run. I'm still able to move a lot. I'm still able to stand for a long period of time. I'm still able to get on a roller coaster. I'm still able to do a lot of things, so I'm not extremely limited by my own body, I guess, in a sense. Whereas you see some of these other people who are large, they're either just obese or morbidly obese, and they're limited by a lot of things. And it's like, I don't want to be that person. I'm still under 200 pounds, which I'm thankful for. I don't want to reach up to 200 pounds. I want to at least get down to like 140 or 135 or something. If it's, first of all, if that's good for my height, my age, the body BMI, I think that's what it's called, or something like that. I guess essentially that's kind of what, if it's good for me to be at that weight, then I would like to go there. So yeah, I guess if that makes sense. I shouldn't even be talking about that. It's kind of personal, I guess, but it's whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I'll sometimes watch that show and just kind of be disgusted by, how people eat, and sometimes how they act. Like, sometimes these people could be one of the worst people out there. It's insane. It's crazy. I mean, well, maybe not the worst people out there, but they're in the situation, and they get told that you got to eat less, you got to exercise more, so you can lose the weight, so you can get the surgery, and you can continue on your journey to weight loss and whatever. Then they start working on it, but then they relapse, and then people try to help them, and then they're kind of like, oh, F you blah blah blah, and it's kind of like, whew. See, if I was trying to help somebody and they were throwing an attitude like that to me, I would have been like, you know what? Fine, I ain't gonna help your fat ass. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm gone. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that, but if someone was to kick me out and throw me out like garbage, I'd be like, what's the point of helping them out? I guess. Yeah, I've gone to a big talk about that. That's interesting. So that's another show I tend to watch. Sometimes we'll end up watching a show called Hoarders. And that's essentially where, let's just take my this room for example, right? That's my family room. If I was a hoarder, or if my mom was a hoarder, just say we were living in a house where, it's owned by a hoarder, this entire space would not be as clean as it is. I mean, it's not that messy, actually. We did clean up before she left for her vacation. But if this was a hoarder space, you would probably barely be able to walk anywhere. It would just be a crap ton of mess. It would just be like say if you were someone that collect a lot of stuff, it would just be everywhere. Like it would be, or just look up what a hoarder is. They live very dirty lives. Like they can't let go of things, so they don't give things away. They don't throw things away, or sometimes they'll throw trash away. But in terms of like say sentimental things, they'll keep it, and their house is just like a major mess. And and then those also tend to deal with people who have like certain disabilities, or they had a loss in their family, and to keep the memory of them alive, they don't get rid of anything that was connected to, say, their lover or their or their mother or the whatever, all those kind of things. And so it's kind of interesting. These shows are kind of interesting in a way. And my mom used to watch a show called Little Women of L.A. And that show was basically little people that were, I guess, I can't really explain it to be honest. All it is that it's one of those shows where you got these girls that kind of hang out with each other, but then they always end up fighting. Except instead of them being normal sized, they're little sized. I guess that's the best way to explain it. I don't know. But we used to watch that, and I don't think my mom watches that anymore. Not that I was really interested in it, but my mom started watching it, and I was watching it along with her, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So you kind of start getting into the story, but it's not, my mom's not here. I wouldn't watch it personally, because it's just not my thing. Oh, another show I used to watch was Storage Wars. I used to watch it when it was big back then. Now, I don't know if they even still do Storage Wars, but the past few years, I was kind of like, Storage Wars, whatever. So, yeah, as far as I know, another show I also used to watch was, Strange Addictions. Oh my god, some of the things that these people get addicted to is exactly why the show's called Strange Addictions. It is weird. And some of them are creepy, some of them are just outright disgusting. And then you watch some videos on YouTube, strangest addictions compilations. Some of these things are just insane. There's a girl that likes to chew rocks. Somebody likes to drink paint. Someone likes to eat their couch or their mattress. It's the weirdest crap ever, And it's just like, how do these people even get these addictions? It's weird. It's like I don't know. It's strange. Yeah. But it is what it is, I guess, and hopefully these people are okay now, and hopefully they're not doing it anymore, and hopefully they're still alive, because some of these things that these people would be eating or drinking would basically be poisoning their bodies. They don't feel it, and I guess nothing really affected them, but, it's the strangest thing. Excuse me. Alright, so let me, go back to the chat. Plumshow says, yeah, I don't eat vegetables either, but I don't eat fruits either. Also, you don't eat fruit and vegetables. Wow. I'm the complete opposite of that, obviously. I like eating vegetables and fruit. I tend to work a lot with vegetables when I'm cooking in my house. Like, I'll tend to cook broccoli or Brussels sprouts or something. Sometimes carrots or corn or whatever. That's what I tend to do. And sometimes when it comes to fruits, I'll just eat them normally, or I'll make a smoothie out of them. It's whatever. Plumshow host, and the only candy I eat is candy corn and Tootsie Pops. Wow. So obviously you are I guess you would consider that to be a picker. I guess you would consider that to be a picky eater, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Or you could be very particular when it comes to foods you want to eat. I'm not picky, obviously. I tend to eat almost anything. There was one thing I wanted to mention when it came to not eating fruit, and I'll get to that. It's not a lecture, it's just a video that I saw from BuzzFeed, I think, and it was freaking bizarre. But crap, I just there was something else I wanted to mention, and I think I completely forgot it. No. Yeah. Now I remember. when as you guys probably know, and you probably don't, 2 years ago I took a cooking. I did cooking school, and we did like a lot of different dishes and cuisines and everything. Um, at some point when you do cooking school, you will learn to cook with certain type of interesting foods. Like they're called awful foods, not AW not the AWFUL. It's how do you spell the other one? It's let's see, awful foods. Yeah, it's the other spelling of awful. Sounds like awful, but it's spelled OFFAL. And generally, these kinds of foods are, say, organ meats or internal organs or something like that. It sounds weird, kind of like, say, for instance, pig intestines or pig brain or rabbit heart or what else did we? Foie gras, which is goose or duck liver. Um, those kinds of ingredients. You would learn to, because people eat those things. Like first of all, people used to eat that stuff, I guess, in the South, or poor people used to eat that because I guess it used to be the cheapest thing to buy. Now you got people who eat it in these fancy restaurants. You'll eat awful foods, which is interesting. I tried a lot of stuff. We did shallow fried pig brain, which actually tasted kind of good, not gonna lie. We did foie gras, which was, I think, duck or goose liver. Did not like it. Did not like it. That just, no. It's, someone grilled rabbit heart once at in school, and the funny thing is that since I was since I animal that's my favorite animal, rabbit. I never really wanted to eat rabbit, but I did. I ate rabbit. Tastes like chicken, honestly. To be honest with you, like a lot of animals taste like chicken, which is interesting. I had alligator before, fried alligator. I think it was like alligator bites or something, and that tasted exactly like chicken too. It was just a bit chewier. Um, and yeah, and I've had frog legs too as well. I went to Louisiana once, and we went to this buffet at a casino, and they had fried frog legs. Tasted like chicken, and so it's interesting how different types of animals, when cooked or whatever, will end up still tasting like chicken. And so it's kind of it's interesting how that works, I guess you can say. Um, but yeah, when you're cooking, you tend to, or when you do cooking school, you tend to try different types of foods that you may never have tried before, or ingredients you've never cooked with or worked with before, never ate before. And so awful foods, again, OFFAL, those are ones that you kind of end up eating. I also ate snail as well. We cooked snail, and it tastes like the earth, if it makes any sense. Like, you don't know what grass tastes like, you don't know what dirt tastes like, or maybe you do, because you probably remember you as a kid probably putting that shit in your mouth. Because when you're a kid, you kind of put whatever, leaves in your mouth or whatever. You're just curious about the world, so you taste things. And so probably because of that, you probably remember what the earth somewhat tastes like, dirt and grass, and so that's what snails taste like, essentially, which is interesting, I guess you can say. But yeah, so clearly my whole point is that I tend to be somewhat an adventurous eater. Not 100%, because I think there's certain things that I'll look at and I will not try. Like there's I think it's called a fermented egg, or there's this egg. Let's see. Fermented egg. I think that's what it is. No, that's not what it is. Not a fermented egg, but I still wouldn't try a fermented egg. But there's one type of egg. I completely forgot what it's called. But essentially, what it is that it's not egg yolks and egg whites or whatever. It's not what you usually get in the store. You crack open an egg and you just see the yolk or whatever. What it is, it's actually a almost fully grown baby bird. You crack it open, and the whole body is right there. no feathers or nothing. It's still developing essentially, but you basically kind of eat the full baby bird. I don't know what you call it, but there's ingredients out there like that. I don't know if anyone eats those things in America, but I know in other countries they do eat eggs where you crack it open and there's a full baby bird in there, obviously dead and still developing as well, or still in the development stages, and people eat that. Would I ever try that? No. You will never, never see me try anything like that. Screw that. But yeah, that's kind of where things go, I guess. Interesting talk about food today. But yeah, let me get to the point that I was going to mention earlier about, not eating fruit and yada, yada, yada. There was this video that I saw on BuzzFeed. I saw a couple of other people react to it too. There was one guy that never ate fruit in his entire life. He never tried it. He just didn't like it. Because you know how when you're a kid and there's like this certain type of food that you never try, but for some reason you just don't like it. Like for me, I never tried pie when I was a kid, but for some reason I just did not like pie. I don't know why, but I didn't. Now I like pie, obviously. There's a lot more foods that I like now instead of when I was a kid, because, taste buds probably excel or whatever. But this guy never tried fruit, and we saw him eat fruit for the first time, and some of them were just so revolting to him, which is like he didn't like eating grapes, I think, and it was the texture or the taste or whatever, and it was crazy. It was like, wow, okay, I don't know. It was kind of hard to explain or to react to that, but it was just interesting how, there's some people that haven't tried fruits and whatnot, and, because you'd think everybody, since they're kids, would have eaten fruit, but I guess some people just either don't have access to it, or they just don't, or they just refuse to eat it, or who knows? I don't know everyone's situation or how that works. But there was this one video, which was hilarious. This, fat lady, she tried to eat broccoli or Brussels sprouts or something, and she couldn't even do it. Like, she smelled it and it was revolting to her. And because she eats a lot of junk food and all that mess. And it was hilarious because, like, she tried sniffing it and then she had to put it down, and she actually broke down crying on someone's shoulder because she just couldn't eat that broccoli, or she was scared of the broccoli or something. It was so funny. It's hilarious because she's a big person, and her eating vegetables, she needs those greens, but she doesn't eat veg. She just eats junk food, and it's hilarious. It's even funnier when I watch a video like, say, Joey's World Tour. If you guys know who that is, he's like a big guy who reviews fast food in his car. There was one where I guess like this burger was like a big burger. I guess had like lettuce on it. He doesn't tend to always remove lettuce from his burgers or from his sandwiches, but one time he did it, and it was kind of like, you need those greens, boy. I mean, it's just not that you try to make fun of them or anything. It's just, or at least I don't try to make fun of people, especially considering my weight. But it's just, sometimes it's just funny to see that when someone gets something that has any type of greens, they take all the greens out and they just eat the meat and everything that's essentially unhealthy for you, I guess. So, it's kind of funny. But anyway, let me continue on with the chat here. Dan Stein says, hello, do you think it's possible to have an unhealthy amount of nostalgia, and what would a person with too much nostalgia look like? I think that's a good question, to be honest with you. I think a unhealthy amount of nostalgia would probably be someone who is probably just very obsessed with their childhood in a way, probably, and they probably would want to relive their childhood. Maybe. I don't know if it would say as to go far as to want to be a child again, like you wear kid clothes or you wear clothes that seem kind of kiddish and you act like a child or you want things to, I don't know. There's some people out there that do that, but I don't know if that's mainly because they want to be a kid again or if it's because of nostalgia or what. I don't know, but if you were someone who probably just was, you really, really loved the times of like the 90s or the 80s or whatever, like your childhood times, and you, I guess, don't want to grow up or something, that's probably, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, maybe if you, maybe what it is that like you just can't see the good in anything that's modern. Like you hate laptops, you hate cell phones, you hate flat screen TVs or whatever. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a really good question. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's one thing that I can say when it comes to nostalgia. The term '90s babies. People who were born in the '90s, and they tend to kind of whine about modern things today, and they just want everything to go back to the way things were. Or in terms of, like, say, cartoon, because that's when we generally talk about, oh, you're '90s baby or '90s tart or nostalgia tart or whatever. And you got some of these people who constantly on, like, say, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney Channel be like, bring back the old cartoons, get rid of the newer ones, and just bring the old ones back. And it's like, that's not realistic, obviously, but they always ask for it, and I don't think it's ever going to stop. So I don't know if I could consider that to be an unhealthy amount of nostalgia, but it's I don't know. So that's a really good question. I wish I had a full answer to that. Cassandra, how are you doing? Says, have you ever watched a show called Young Justice? It used to be on Cartoon Network. They canceled the show for Teen Titans Go. I've heard of that. I never really watched the Young Justice cartoon. I knew of it. I'm not someone that's honestly all that big into superhero movies or comics or cartoons, I guess you could say. I used to be, I guess, I used to watch like the Incredible Hulk, which, the 2003 movie. I think that movie came out in 2003. Which, by the way, it's a terrible movie. It's awful. Oh my god. Like you like things when you're a kid, but then you grow up and you start looking at it through a different eye, and it's kind of like, oh, why did I like that? Like the Cat in the Hat. Even though there's still somewhat an enjoyable quality to that movie, I guess you can say. There's still a part of me that watches that movie today, and I'm like, why the hell did I like this when I was a kid, But there was, I used to watch the Spider-Man movies, and that was mainly it for most of the superhero movies. Oh, no, I watched the Fantastic Four ones as well. What else? I think I watched some of the Batman movies and maybe a Superman movie. I don't know. I just never was really all that big into the superhero movies and stuff. I'm aware of them and I do like them, but I was never that much of a fan of those, I guess you can say. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of superhero comic type movies and shows and whatnot. I think I used to watch the Justice League when I was a kid, when they aired it on Cartoon Network, though. So, again, when I was a kid, I used to be more into that stuff. Now, not so much. I'll still watch a couple of movies, but not really a lot of them. Continuing with the chat, post-show host says, yeah, because unfortunately people started favoring comedy cartoons over dark, serious cartoons. Oh, yeah, in response to, yeah, that's true. Because, when you go to Cartoon Network, there's not a lot of serious cartoons on that channel right now. And the thing is, I can somewhat understand why. Because I think in some ways, comedy probably gets a bit more pull from most people. And that's probably because, comedy could be feel good. If it's funny, it makes you feel good, makes you laugh. And it's probably a little easier to watch comedy than it is to watch drama or dark type of stuff, or at least that is to me, because I don't tend to watch a lot of dark movies, or I don't tend to watch a lot of drama shows or whatever, I tend to watch more things that are light and fun and comedic. That tends to be my forte, I guess you would say. Snowflake's World says, "Did you know?" Oh, by the way, hi, how you doing? Snowflake's World says, "Did you know that there is a Space Jams 2 supposedly in the works?" Yes, with LeBron James. That's gonna be interesting. If it fully comes from tuition, I don't even think that was the correct word. I don't know. I'm stumbling right now. But yeah, if it Christ, I probably need to go to sleep. I'm tired. But if it truly comes through, I guess if it's actually something that's gonna happen, that's gonna be interesting. I'm not 100% sure if I would see it in the movies, if it's gonna be a movie that goes to the movies, but it would be interesting. And how they make it different from the first one, you know. Unless it's supposed to be a reboot? No, you said Space Jams 2. It wouldn't be a reboot. It would have to be a different one. That would be interesting. Who knows? Who knows? I didn't particularly watch a lot of Space Jams when I was a kid. I barely know all that much about the movie. I've watched... I mean, there's certain things about the movie that I know, obviously, but I don't think I fully watched the entire movie, I guess. Let's see. So Dan Stein says something a little bit ironic will be some guy like Carousel of Progress, and then later on they say that they didn't want Disney to replace any more attractions for new attractions. That's progress. So what was that in a reply to? Was I mentioning? I'm trying to think. They might, that's, okay, I completely understand what you're talking about. Yeah, because it was, okay, yeah. Let's actually talk about that for a second, since you mentioned, Carousel Progress and Disney and yada, yada, yada. Disney, a lot of people really, really hate when Disney brings changes to their parks. They completely disregard what Walt Disney said about said parks. Said that Disneyland will never be complete as long as there's enough imagination in the world. So Disneyland's always going to be changing. It's never going to be the same. It's always going to be different. There's going to be certain things about Disneyland that are probably never going to change. Well, maybe not never, but certain things are going to stay the same at Disney. But a lot of things are going to be changing. There's a lot of times when they remove a ride and people get pissed that the ride's gone, and then they announce the new ride and everyone's pissed at that new ride. Then when the new ride opens, everyone's in love with it. A good example would have to be the Hollywood Tower of Terror at Disney's California Adventure. That was recently replaced with Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And people hated the idea. They hated the concept. They hated the fact that it was changing. They hated the fact that they were changing the ride to an overlay to begin with. They were like, "Why are they doing this? Why can't they just change it to the keep it to the original or whatever?" They hated it. And then they opened the ride. Everyone is now in love with the damn ride. It's just a continuous cycle when it comes to Disney. They announce something new, and also announcing the end of something. People hate it, they open, and then people love it, and then just the whole thing happens again. It's interesting how that works, I guess you can say. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, there are a couple of changes when it comes to Disney that I can totally understand why people would be upset about. Like, say for instance, Disneyland and Star Wars Land, they altered certain things that were originally made for the park just so they can make room for Star Wars Land, and people aren't happy with that. One of the things that they're doing now with Disneyland is they're actually taking out a lot of the planters, I guess you could say. When you walk through a theme park and there's like these areas where you just see plants, it kind of give it a little, I guess, aesthetic or some sort of atmosphere when you're walking around. Yeah, they're removing those. They're also removing a lot of benches. What they're trying to do is widen the pathways to, just widen the walkways of the park, because Disneyland gets hella busy. Extremely busy. And the biggest reason for that is because, not like a lot of other parks, but, well, actually, in a way, yes, like other parks. they have a passport system, or a season pass, I guess you could call it, where you can buy a ticket, and then you say you go there, or well, not really buy a ticket, but you buy a pass where you can go whenever you want without actually really technically paying to get into the park. I mean, well, technically you would be paying for it, like say Disneyland's signature annual passport plus. I think that's one of their options. You'll pay the whole thing is about $1,000, and that's essentially your golden ticket to be able to go to the parks every single day, and that's Disneyland and California Adventure. And Disney has a crap ton of annual pass holders. And that's partially why Disneyland is so busy, because pass holders go there every single goddamn day. And it's crazy. And they obviously they have lower tiers of those. The cheaper passport would be is you get to go uh, most times of the year, but there's certain days where you're blocked off, and when it's the summer, you are not able to go at all unless you buy a regular ticket. And you pay less. You'll pay like $20 a month or something like that. I have something like that at Knott's Berry Farm, except I'm only paying $6 a month, which is honestly... Well, first of all, my price has been going down each year. I used to pay $10, then I paid $9, and now I'm paying only $6 a month, which is pretty awesome, by the way, and totally affordable. And for that, I get to go there every single day whenever I want, and so that's pretty cool. So yeah, Disney, that's why they're so crowded all the time, because of the annual passes and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why they're trying to widen the pathways to Disneyland, or not to Disneyland, but in Disneyland, so they could try to control the crowds and, have more space for crowds to move and yada, yada, yada. So there's a lot of things that I can understand why people are upset at Disney for changing certain things so they can add something or whatever. But, I mean, it is what it is. For Disney, you gotta realize that, again, as Walt Disney said, it's never going to be finished as long as there's enough imagination in the world. So, the Disneyland we have now is going to be different from the Disneyland we'll get in 10 years or in 20 years. We're just gonna have to accept it. That's just a factor of life. We have certain things that we like now, and things are just going to change. Our lives are not going to be the same 10 years from now. Hell, our lives aren't going to be the same 5 years from now. Everything's going to end up changing. We keep adapting, or sometimes we don't. So that's basically essentially what happens. So, there's that. Shoot, so I only went to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Cassandra, thoughts on K-pop music? I don't really care that much for it, to be honest. I can't say I don't like it, but I also can't say that I like it either. It's just not my thing. I first got exposed to K-pop music through an anime group that I was in school. There was an anime club. We would meet every Wednesday at lunch, I think. Was it every... No, I think it was almost every day. No, I think it was only like once or twice a week at lunch at a certain room. And one day they decided they were going to do K-pop music instead of anime, which was fine. And the girls, almost every single time, we were in a smaller room that time, and every single time we would end up seeing like a new band on the screen, because they would be playing music videos and shit. All the girls would just be fangirling so much, they would scream. It was just so loud, and it was ridiculous. That was partially one of the reasons why I'm like, nah, I'm not really into K-pop. I don't think I want to be I don't think I want to be associated with that, I guess. I don't know. I believe BTS is a K-pop group, right? I think, right? BTS K-pop. Yeah, BTS is K-pop. I don't really care for BTS, to be honest with you. Like, I literally... Like, so many people love K-pop, or just love BTS. Like, I think it was like a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, or something like that. I don't remember. BTS was opening their tour in LA, or they were going to have their first run in LA. And there were girls that waited, I think, and they waited outside of Staples Center for an entire freaking week just so they can get tickets and to be able to go into the concert. There's one girl that is literally going to be traveling to multiple cities so they can see BTS perform almost all the time. How ridiculous is that? I mean, I may be a big fan of certain things, like maybe certain television shows or certain musicals or certain songs or whatever, but I would never get that obsessive over anything. You know, kind of like with people who are Apple users, not all Apple users, but some Apple users who will wait outside for days outside of an Apple store just so they can say that they were the first ones to get the new Apple phone. I would never do that, not for a Samsung, not for an Apple, not for anything. And I don't know how people do it. You know, it's crazy. You know, so yeah, it's definitely interesting. Snowflake's World says, what was your favorite preschool TV show you watched as a kid, and why is it your favorite? That's a tough one. I would probably say my favorite one, right off the bat, would have to be Blue's Clues. You know, just like Plump Show host said. I think it was because, I mean, because, you know, sometimes I'll end up watching an episode and I'll, you know, kind of remember, oh, that's why I liked Blue's Clues and stuff. I think it was mainly because of Steve. Like, Steve had a charisma to him in these episodes that, you know, made it very enjoyable. You know, that's probably why, and I think it was just, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say why I really enjoyed watching it in terms of why me, as my 4, 5, 6-year-old self, liked watching Blue's Clues. But it was a fun show. That's all I can really say about it. It was a fun show. It was funny, and you know, it's also a cute show as well. And I am kind of excited for their reboot. I doubt that I'd be watching a lot of it because I know it's, you know, it's not going to be in my age range, even though I don't watch a couple of preschool TV shows. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, like some of you guys probably know that I watched Paw Patrol and The Lion Guard and the Nick Jr. series of Peter Rabbit and Bubble Guppies. Yeah, I guess it's because when sometimes nothing would be on TV, I would just end up clicking those channels for some reason, and that would somehow I would end up enjoying them. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why, but, you know, I kind of like some of these shows. I'm not going to lie, but obviously that's not the only thing I watch, you know. But, yeah, because it's funny how it works. Like, you mentioned, oh, I do watch a couple of preschool cartoons and stuff. And someone will act like that's the only thing you watch. And it's like, if you have a goddamn brain, you know that's not the only thing I watch, you freaking idiots. It's funny, you know, but that's just how stupid people are. But yeah, but, you know, as, you know, with the Blue's Clues, you know, that was one of my favorite shows. I also liked Dora the Explorer when I was a kid, and that's probably one of the, wow, I'm totally glitching out on stream right now. Just got fixed. But, yeah, you know, I used to watch Dora the Explorer. Kind of hate that show now. What other shows did I used to watch when I was a kid? I didn't really watch Arthur. Teletubbies, The Wiggles, what else? Oh, Big Bear and the Big Blue House. Loved that show. Out of the Box. Roly Poly Oly. I think that was what it was called. Roly Poly Oly. Yeah. What else? Crap. Max and Ruby, which still airs today. Max talks now in full sentences. And they show their parents now, so that's interesting. Yeah, I could go on with all the shows that I used to watch when I was a kid. It would take a very, very long time. Another show, even though I technically wasn't, I was still in elementary school, so I guess it was okay. I used to watch the Doodle Bops, and that's still one of my favorite preschool kid bands. I don't know what you would categorize them as, but they're still one of my favorites, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, again, I can't remember all the preschool shows, but if I continue talking about it, we would be here all night. So, let's continue. Oh yeah, also the new host. I'm not gonna lie, I actually was trying to audition for that, to be honest, but I missed deadlines, and it was like, whatever. I probably wasn't gonna get it anyway, so at least I saved my time, or so, I don't know. So negative, Christ. Anyways, continuing. Um, What's it? Oh yeah, you said I might talk about that in my new Plum Show host. Oh, okay, episode. Okay, yeah, you probably could talk about the new Blues Clues show um, in your show, and I might do that too when it comes out. I don't know. They started production on the show right now, so, or I think they're starting to do episodes of that, and it probably come out later next year or early next year. Who knows? Is it possible I'll talk about it? Maybe just because of nostalgia and because I used to watch it and probably compare it to the old or something. I don't know. Snowflake's World says, yeah, I heard that. I don't like the new style of Blue being 3D. I honestly like the fact that, well, I mean, obviously I like that Blue was 2D, but I think Blue looks fine as a 3D character. And not only that, it shouldn't really surprise anybody that Blue is 3D now, because a lot of 2D animations that were 2D animations back then are kind of going to the 3D, I guess. Or at least that's what I kind of notice, or what it looks like. But it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest, that he's 3D now. But I personally don't have any opposition to that. I'm sure most of the characters are going to be 3D, and it's going to be interesting how they look and probably how they sound, or just how the show's going to be in general. Like, it may be very different from what we had when we were a kid. Who knows? But that's the other thing that go ahead and try to remember, is that this isn't going to be our Blues Clues. This is going to be Blues Clues for the kids, so it's going to be different. And so, yeah, who knows? Just hoping they don't do trendy things like, oh, dabbing and lit and whatnot. It would be dumb if they did that. I highly doubt it. But anyway, continuing. Dan Stein, people have actually told me that it's even worse when Universal closes down a ride and people get upset. From what I've seen, I haven't seen people get pissed at Universal for closing. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. I've seen people get upset with Universal Studios closing down a ride, and, but I haven't seen it at the extent of people getting mad at Disney for closing a ride to build something else. So, I haven't seen it, but maybe it's true in some respects. I don't know. Cassandra says, I'm not a fan of it and it's overrated. Not a fan of BTS, I guess? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm a little behind on the chat, so apologies for that. Snowflake's World says, what do you think of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? At first, I didn't like the designs of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon. But I've actually come to like it. Like, they don't look as bad as I thought they were. Or as bad as I thought they did. I kind of do like the new designs now. I at first didn't think I was going to like the series, but I was watching an episode yesterday, and it's gotten a couple of laughs out of me, and so I've enjoyed that one episode, and so I'm probably going to try to check out some other episodes just to see if it's a show that I do like, or if it's a show that I think is okay, because there's some of those shows where I'll watch an episode and I enjoy it, but I kind of don't really get into watching that series in particular, and I'll probably just watch, like, a couple of episodes, or maybe I'll just watch just one episode and that'll be it. I don't know. But we'll see. I'll probably check out... Damn it, you know what? I just missed... Just thinking about it, I think I just missed a episode of SpongeBob, which I can't rewind to, so I totally missed it. Damn it. It was a new episode. Oh well, I could catch it again tomorrow, so that's cool. And they're going to be airing a new episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today, too, so I'll probably be checking that out as well. But yeah. I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it seems for what I got so far, first impressions it's a pretty good show. So that's all I can really say about it. And if possible, I might do a review of that. If that's what you guys would want, it's possible. Again, not making any promises though. but it's definitely possible that would happen. Trey Blaze 2000, how you doing? Says, I am starting to wonder if Cartoon Network is run by goons with the stuff they're doing. By the way, hello from Memphis, Tennessee, man. How are you doing? I almost said that I went to Memphis, Tennessee, but no. I actually went to Nashville, Tennessee. So, yeah, Tennessee is actually a nice place. It's I remember flying over Nashville, Tennessee, and just seeing how green it was. Because if you fly over California, it's not so green, or at least over Southern California, it's not so green because it's a lot of homes and buildings and all that stuff. So, but yeah, it was. I had a really good time in Tennessee, and so I like it there. Yeah, I don't know. Cartoon Network is obviously, for most of these television executives anyway, they're run by people who want to make money. So Cartoon Network is the same thing. They want to make money, but they're kind of not really doing very well. If anything, with Cartoon Network lately, what I've noticed is that they're not really coming out with a lot of new shows. And a lot of shows are leaving. Many people are speculating that Amazing World of Gumball is leaving Cartoon Network. They haven't really ever officially announced that Amazing World of Gumball is ending. All it was that Ben Croquette, I think that's how you say his last name, said that he was leaving the show, and everybody took that as the show's ending. No, all I said, what I took from that was that the show's creator is leaving, and they're going to continue because shows can't continue without their creators. Even though he probably would still be still be part of the process of the show if the show is continuing. But again, it never was really announced that the show is ending, so I don't know about that. But as I said, it seems like a lot of shows are kind of leaving Cartoon Network or ending. And I haven't seen a lot of shows really come through. And some of the newer shows that Cartoon Network has added hasn't really been all that interesting to me. Like Craig of the Creek, I personally don't really care about that show. Summer Camp Island seems pretty interesting. I'm liking it, so